Welcome to A Word from the Word for January 25th. Today's passage, Mark 13:21 through 37. Today's key verse, "Therefore stay awake, for you do not know when the master of the house will come, in the evening, or at midnight, or when the rooster crows, or in the morning, lest he come suddenly and find you asleep." Mark 13:35 and 36. Today's word from the Word, when will he come?
In today's passage, Jesus urges his disciples to stay alert and be ready for his return, stressing the unpredictability of the timing. This call to vigilance is not about waiting idly but living actively and faithfully, reflecting our anticipation of his coming. Jesus uses the metaphor of a household and its master to illustrate the unpredictability of his return. Just as a servant must stay awake and alert, not knowing when the master will come home, believers must also remain spiritually awake and ready at all times. This warning is part of the larger discourse in Mark 13, known as the Olivet Discourse. Here, Jesus speaks to his disciples on the Mount of Olives, teaching them about the signs of the end times and the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. He underscores the necessity of being prepared for these events since no one knows what time the Master is coming. To fall asleep spiritually means to become complacent or indifferent in our faith. It signifies a lack of vigilance, a drifting away from faithfulness, neglecting our spiritual duties, and being unaware of God's ticking clock. Falling asleep spiritually can lead to a life controlled by worldly concerns, sin, and a disregard for God's commands. Jesus' warning is a call to remain spiritually alive, alert, and engaged in the work of the kingdom. Consider Paul's words in 1 Thessalonians 5:6. "So then let us not sleep as others do, but let us keep awake and be sober." This echoes Jesus' exhortation, urging us to live differently from the world, being spiritually awake and sober-minded. Our watchfulness should be evident in our daily walk, mindful that our actions and attitudes matter. Jesus' exhortation in Luke 21 reminds us to keep our eyes upward, looking for the Master's soon arrival. Now when these things begin to happen, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near. His words are both a warning and an encouragement. As a warning, they remind us to stay vigilant, hopeful, and actively engaged in our walk with him. As an encouragement, they urge us to trust that his return will be at the perfect time and will be glorious. May the Lord grant you the grace to remain vigilant and expectant. May your hearts be steadfast, your spirits unwavering, your lives a testimony to his imminent return, and your spiritual eyes always looking up.